Today on Comic Fights, what was more important, the death of Superman or the breaking of the Bat? Representing the Dark Knight is Sal, and representing the Man of Steel is Ethan and Ben. Sal will only have his comic book knowledge to back him up. Ethan and Ben will have the opportunity to use the internet for 2 minutes to research this topic. Ben and Ethan, will you take that option?
Physical challenge?
That's not an option.
Then yes, we will use the internet.
Okay, we're going to break for 2 minutes while they research. Sal's going to remain seated here, and we come back. We're going to start our comic fight. Each of them will have 1.5 minutes to present their arguments, then 30 seconds for a rebuttal, and then I will make the deciding call on who wins this comic fight. But it doesn't have to end there, folks. Down in the comments down below, you get to continue the fight. Alright, the 2-minute research time is up, and based on a roll of the die, I have decided that Sal will be going first. He had evens, and we rolled an 18. 20-sided die. Get out of here. So, Sal, you will have 1.5 minutes when I say go to present your argument for why the breaking of the Bat was more important. Ready?
Yep.
Set? Go.
Okay, the breaking of the Bat is more significant than the death of Superman because the death of Superman was the first original stunt that was the result of the Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman TV show, and anything that's inspired by that deserves to lose. Also, the breaking of the Bat was part of the KNIGHTFALL epic that inspired not only all of Batman's rogues to fight Batman, culminating with Bane, this new upstart character, doing what no other supervillain could do, but it also included the creation of new characters, like Azrael. Well, rather, Azrael was created, but at least he became Batman at that time. And then it became a metatextual tome that criticized 90s comics and extreme image comics at the time by creating Azrael Batman. So not only was it significant in the scope of Batman, but it was also significant in the scope of comics. It's also one of the first times that a major comics event was portrayed in a Academy Award-winning movie, that being Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises, rather, was the movie in which Bane breaks Batman's back. It's literally ripped from the comics and put on the screen. The movie made $1 billion. That's an element that you can't deny is culturally significant, as well as significant in comics themselves.
You still have 9 seconds if you have anything else.
Eat it.
Okay. Well, we'll end it there. Sal left off his 4 seconds.
Compelling argument there at the end.
Thank you.
Ready? Set. Your time begins now.
Okay, so Death of Superman, iconic event, introduces the character of Doomsday. So, you mentioned Bane. Well, Doomsday is also a new character that was introduced. Plus, you get all the Superman pretenders who came after in the Return of Superman storyline. Worldwide media coverage. It did come before Knightfall, which I would argue gives it more weight in the culture because it was kind of the first, gigantic stunt. So, Knightfall came after that and would have received less interest because it was kind of after Superman. Superman came first.
Not only that, but you're talking about the death of the character, not just the immobilization of the character. That, and Batman is a human. He's very susceptible to injury. We're talking about nearly an unkillable character. You'd think that Kryptonite was a part of it, but it wasn't. This was an incredibly strong, powerful enemy. Something that the world had never seen before. Someone who was actually able to challenge and defeat Superman. That's like defeating apple pie. He stands for truth, justice, the American way. He is democracy. He is freedom. Batman is vigilantism. He's about justice, but in a much more dark, violent kind of way. I don't think that is really the ideal that people were looking for in comics. Comics were, yes, very dark and gritty, but at the same time, you had this bright ray of hope, and that hope has been Superman for a very long time. To kill that is killing a ray of light that has always been in comics. The idea that someone out there is someone that can really, someone we can believe in.
All right. Sal, you'll have 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Are you ready, sir?
Yes? I have to be.
All right. Your time begins now.
Okay, in addition to the fact that Knightfall was a huge sprawling event, it was also kind of like the harbinger of comic book multi-part events in and of themselves. Now, while you had miniseries and such, you had this sprawling epic that spanned all the Batman titles, and that also made the event significant in and of itself. Also, the event continued past Batman's breaking of the Bat. That was just a significant chapter in the ongoing saga of what would happen afterwards. Didn't really say anything.
All right. Ben and Ethan, are you ready for your rebuttal?
Yes.
All right, your 30-second time begins now.
Okay, so Death of Superman was depicted in a major movie. I forgot to mention that before. That is Batman v Superman. Don't forget you had the black armbands stunt, which was very well known in popular culture.
At that same time, you had the polybags, not only the death of Superman,
Polybags.
but also the return of Superman. The polybags were huge. Not only that people kept them for a long time unopened, they're a collector's item. Nightfall's not really a collector's item. No one really grasps onto that as much as they do the polybags of the death of Superman. That black S in the blood in the cape. Oh,
This is an excellent comic fight, but there can only be one victor who will be decided by me, and I have to give it to the death of Superman. Both made excellent arguments, but in the end, I decided that the death of Superman was more important. But you don't have to agree with what I say or what either of them say, and this comic fight doesn't have to end here. Take it down in the comments down below, but keep it clean, above the belt, as always. And if you're looking for more 90s DC goodness, you should check out our back issues on Zero Hour, which inspired this comic fight. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
and I'm Ben.
Keep fighting, guys.
It was the armband, wasn't it?
Hey, the annotation's over your head now.
What?
Yeah, the annotation's over here. It's over your head finally.
Oh.
Yeah.